When Jason Williams campaigned for Orleans Parish DA, he ran on the platform of criminal justice reform. But now, after almost 3 years, Williams has undergone a professional and personal evolution. He spoke candidly to investigative reporter Mike Pearlstein.
Fighting for victims does not mean stacking up convictions.
That was Jason Williams at his inauguration in January 2021 as he began navigating his 180-degree career turn from defense attorney to prosecutor. And not just any prosecutor, but the district attorney in a city plagued by high levels of violent crime and one of the state's busiest criminal courts. On the campaign trail, Williams promised several changes from the prior administration of DA Leon Cannizzaro. Among the promises was never to prosecute juveniles as adults.
The limitations of the juvenile sentencing guidelines would be inadequate in holding young people accountable for heinous crimes.
Not only did Williams break his campaign promise in that case and prosecute the teens as adults, he's done the same thing in several other juvenile cases since then. You vowed never to try juveniles as adults, and now you've done that several times. What led to that change in thinking?
I had to do it. It had to be done for the safety of this community and the safety of the young people we're actually talking about. That wasn't just something that we came up with on the 4th floor of the DA's office. That was after meeting with a number of young people in this community, a number of educators, a number of parents. The position to never charge adults, never charge juveniles as adults was a wrong one. And it actually hit us at a really tough intersection of some of our highest truancy rates at the same time as we were having violent crime spiking.
It sounds like you have gathered information by virtue of sitting in this position as the DA, talking to victims, talking to kids who are trying to do the right thing, that has sparked an evolution in your thinking.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And we all have to evolve. And we all have to make sure that we are constantly doing whatever our jobs are better than we did the day before.
The habitual offender statute is used liberally by some DAs and was almost automatic under Cannizzaro. Williams has now put the law back into play, but uses it sparingly.
We have reversed course on not using it at all, and we have done very specific strategic trainings to all of our prosecutors about why the law is there and how it needs to be used. We're using it for rapists, murderers, and armed robbers, and it's the right thing to do.
Williams also changed his office policy on not taking a position on bail amounts for defendants. His prosecutors now make recommendations, adopting a practice that is routine for most DAs. But Williams really opened some eyes in September when he issued this letter to Chief Judge Robin Pittman, complaining about some bail amounts being too low. Some of your thinking and policy positions have changed since you've become the DA.
This idea that there's a dichotomy between being a defense attorney and the prosecutor, I don't think it's exactly how it's always painted. Truth of the matter is, justice is always the goal. When I was a defense attorney, I wanted safe streets and fair courts. As a prosecutor, I want safe streets and fair courts.
When I asked Jason Williams what sparked some of the changes in his thinking, he turned personal and emotional.
I haven't forgotten a single survivor or victim that I've been in contact with. You can't forget the things that have happened to them, and really getting up close and personal with some very violent and very serious cases. That's absolutely going to have an impact on a person.
Mike Pearlstein, Eyewitness News.
And since that interview, Williams himself became the victim of a violent crime when he and his 78-year-old mother were carjacked. 2 18-year-olds and 2 juveniles were booked in that crime. Williams immediately recused his office of any involvement in the case.